welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
Of NBA basketball on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Doris Burke, our game analyst, and from the sideline, David Aldridge. And just a single game trip away from Cleveland for the Cavaliers. Well, guys, at this point, while still many things can change, the record is not on par with their performance last year. Maybe a cause for concern, but something they are well aware of.
Well, I think for Cleveland, they've stumbled a little bit here at the beginning of the season. A disappointing start for one of the NBA's truly great teams.
Yeah, great is not an adjective we can apply to this group this year. They may have some deficiencies that hold them back.
All right, let's set the floor. Courtesy of Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. And so in the game for the Cavaliers, the two stars, LeBron and Love, making up the forward positions. Clarkson is out there with Hood, and it's Lopez in at the center, locking down the middle. Doris, the Bucks already enduring plenty of ups and downs. You see it every day in the league. How many games into the season does it take to know exactly what kind of team you've got and then where you need to proceed from that point on?
Well, I think obviously you typically see some level of separation between the championship contending teams almost in the first 20 games. If somebody's getting out to a 15-1 start, you know that typically speaking, they're going to be in it for the long haul. I think the fascinating aspect of the NBA season typically is in those 5 through maybe 10 slots in the respective Eastern and Western Conference, right?
Yes.
Because so often, Kevin, we're seeing 2 or 3 games separate maybe the 5th team from the 10th team. That means all of those teams are potential playoff teams. And what does the organization decide to do? Do they decide to try to make a run toward a playoff possibility? Or are they saying, boy, we don't really think we're there yet. Perhaps we need to think about what's our draft status.
Here's Clarkson after Denzel Valentine's bucket. Love kicks to LeBron. That falls. Great assist by Love.
Just a high percentage look for LeBron. I mean, he's so good in the post.
Now the dish to Markkanen. He feeds it to Dunn. The pass to the professor. Kicks to Markkanen. Now here's Valentine. Covered by LeBron. Valentine. That's basket number 2 with his third shot off to a fast 2 for 3.
He knew what he wanted to do all along. The teardrop.
Clarkson kicks to LeBron. On the play, basket count, so it'll be a 3-point play chance.
The strength of LeBron is something that is never going to go away, and it will always allow him to finish plays like that.
The Cavaliers shooting their first free throw of the evening.
And team free throw numbers really about as good as you could ask for, around 80% on the season.
Now, here's Valentine. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. Shot clock at 6. Dunn passes to Markkanen. And there's the 3-second call, this one on the defense. First trip to the free throw line for him tonight. And he shows the focus there, nails the technical.
And Markkanen is showing the aggressiveness you like to see in a guy with his skill set. Somebody who doesn't lack confidence when he shoots the ball.
Here's the professor. 23 points for him the last game against the Nuggets in Denver.
I thought his physicality was crucial, too. He kept the defense on their toes and repeatedly got to the free throw.
Their only other free throw attempt today in an earlier trip to the line.
And they've done some really nice work at the foul line, knocking down 80%.
Robin Lopez, the prototypical lunch pail player. He brings so much skill, able to create some offense when his number is called.
Now here's Love. A 17-point game for him in the win against Sacramento.
You know what else impressed me? How infectious his tenacity was. Simply a wrecking ball on the boards, collecting
Cavaliers making a change here. Nance is checked in. Here's the professor. He seems to always be finding ways to score, averaging around 23.5 points a game. The Cavaliers trail by 3. The Cavs' Tyronn Lue said he never envisioned coaching during his playing career, but Doc Rivers saw something in him.
Well, Doc likes to say that Ty just had a way of bringing people together, a way of connecting. At the same time, Lue is tough enough to speak the truth and point out things that others might be reluctant to say.
Here's the professor following the score.
That is not possible. What we just, is that possible?
I think it is, Greg. Not probable, but like possible, like you said. That was a great angle we just saw, courtesy of Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. Now, here's Hood. And you can see his scoring totals. Those are some pretty good numbers. He's putting up close to 15 points a game on average. Clarkson with the ball. Now defended by Markkanen. A shot by Clarkson, no good.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better from that range.
Dunn kicks to Valentine. That shot is off. So Cleveland will take it the other way. This game coming on the heels of their win against the Kings.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, I thought the opponent's defense just never showed up.
I mean, you'd have to question their effort, Greg. They did a great job at penetrating and kicking out. The defense...
This their first chance this season playing the Cavaliers.
2 division rivals facing off tonight. They'll see one another 4 times this season.
Here's what Chicago's going with right now. Bobby Portis is checked in for Lopez. Conley comes in for Markkanen. Wells, he's checked in for Valentine. And Zach LaVine subbed in for Dunn. Now, here's Wells. An 11-point game for him in the win against the Nuggets in Denver. They get the rebound. Portis, and he banks in the layup. Portis has got his first bucket of the night.
Really nice job to convert the putback opportunity there. I mean, he stayed with that play from start to finish. That's something we say about him a lot.
There's Clarkson. He picked up 24 points in their last one against Sacramento. A stupendous finish in traffic.
Amazing how he gets this one to go. Size doesn't matter.
What fearlessness, right? He likes to go at taller defenders, and he shows he has what it takes to get it done.
Stolen by Thompson. And now the Cavaliers. Fast break. Finished off the break. Thompson's got his first basket.
Man, this thing is just going back and forth tonight.
Neither team wants to give an inch. This is fun. Both teams trying desperately to seize the momentum.
And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2. Chicago shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game. First one falls for. Both free throws good from the professor. 1:06 left in the first quarter. And dishes to Thompson. Here's Bielitsa. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change. 6 changes of the lead here.
Yeah, both teams still kind of feeling their way through this game.
Dishes at Devonley. Over to the left wing. Here's the professor.
Ooh, that's an old-fashioned rim rack.
Just a remarkable jam. These fans' jaws are on the ground right now. Now, here's Clarkson. One of the dependable scorers on the team. He's averaging close to 17 points a game. Inside, and stolen by Vonleh. About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. LaVine against Clarkson. LaVine can't hit. The Cavaliers have gone 8 of 11 in the first quarter. They'll take that percentage any night. Nance outside. Great look there, but off target.
I guess even he has to miss one of those once in a while.
We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here. ends up going with the new group. Then for the Cavaliers, Love check in for Tristan Thompson. James comes in for Bielitsa. Rodney Hood subbed in for Clarkson. Markkanen and Lopez are together down low. The professor out there with Dunn, and it's Valentine in at the 3 slot. Well, guys, this first half has been about as tightly contested as you could hope for.
There have been a lot of lead changes.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, guys, the professor in that last outing against the Nuggets was tremendous. He scored 23 points, and he was locked in. A strong shooting night from both the floor and the free throw line. His was the kind of all-around performance coaches love to see. It felt like he was a factor on just about every play. Kevin?
Thanks, David. It was a performance that not many players are capable of.
I know I won't forget it for a while, and you have to think he'll keep it rolling here tonight. When you're that hot, it takes a while to cool down.
I think that's the kind of game that carries over, and he'll have every chance to do it because I've got to believe he's their number one option.
Well, we all have hobbies outside basketball, Doris. You've said that one of your passions is cooking, and I know this personally. I have to ask, what's your best dish? What's your specialty?
You know, that might be too many to name, but if I were to pick just one, I would probably have to say my chicken tetrazzini is my children's favorite. Boy, I can throw down in the kitchen, Kevin.
Learn that from Mom? Did you just pick that up on your own? How'd you learn to be such a good cook?
You know, my daughter and I, that was one thing that sort of really bonded us. We would watch a little cooking show on TV, head to the kitchen and try to reproduce it. So Sarah and I did some work.
Love that stuff. Markkanen passes to Dunn. Markkanen kicks to Lopez. Feeds it to Dunn. Stolen. In transition, here come the Cavaliers. Pass to Hood. Love with the screen for Hood. To the paint. Tries it from 9. Love, no luck.
Well, it's been an up and down quarter for him on the offensive end. Mostly down, though.
Some nice ball movement by the Bulls. Here's the professor. James covering. Over to the wing. Just 5 on the clock. Off the screen. Dunn shot's good.
Now, the defense has to be better. Dunn is such a quick release on these mid-range jumpers.
The Cavaliers trail by 5.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Love with the screen for LeBron. To the middle. Tipped away. 29 seconds left in the first half. Markkanen kicks to Dunn. Markkanen sets the pick for Dunn. Terrific design on the pick play. He lays it in. Now it's a 7-point Bulls lead.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
The feed to Hood. James in the post. It's deflected. And so it's the Chicago Bulls heading to the bench with this Spencer.
Yeah, great job from him in that first half of drawing fouls and getting to the line.
Well, he certainly put the defense in a tough spot in that half. Forces the issue, draws the contact time and time again.
And so in the game for the Cavaliers, LeBron and Love, the deadly forward pair. Clarkson is out there with Hood, and it's Lopez in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
Fruitful possession, just doing what they can to extend the lead.
Well, this is a perfect example of how you want to run your offense. Disciplined but determined. Nice possession, Greg.
Pass to Dunn. And he jams it right over Kevin Love. Wow.
Listen, there are a few guards in this league who can overpower defenders, but Dunn, that rare breed.
And he's got his first chance at the line here. The free throw drops in for Dunn.
Yeah, Chris Dunn tantalized the NBA guys with his elite speed, his playmaking ability. There were some question marks about his decision-making, but I think that's about repetition.
Clarkson kicks to Love. Pass to James. From about 16, no good off the front iron.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A plus 10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
Dunn dishes to Valentine. Kicks it to Dunn. 6 on the shot clock. Lopez sets a screen for Valentine. Second shot opportunity. Lopez, no luck. The Cavaliers trail by 12. Outside Hood. There's a screen. He tries for 3. And Brook Lopez, the bucket on the assist by LeBron. LeBron's got his 3rd assist on the night. Bulls have gone 2 of 4 here to start the second half. And Brook Lopez, Doris, with some notable injuries off the court.
Well, my understanding is he pitched a TV pilot in the past. He's also said he'd like to write a novel someday. He's got an incredible love of books, which, according to he and his brother, was instilled in him by their mother.
And Kevin, the knack for the offensive rebound, a big part of what makes this guy special.
Not to mention, Greg, his ability to finish with strength, just like that.
You know, it's an invaluable asset to have. He's as tenacious down there as anyone.
What's the key, and you've done this in college, to being successful with an up-tempo scheme?
Well, I think obviously, one, you've got to have 3-tool players who are unselfish by nature. 3-tool meaning once you catch the basketball, you are a triple threat. You can pass it, you can score it, you can dribble it. You're able to be a playmaker in every instance, because once you allow people to spread the floor, and by that I mean the spacing is, you know, there are 5 guys spread out maybe beyond the 3-point line, so the defenders are essentially on an island until a screen comes. You've got to be a triple threat on the catch to be successful in those pace and space systems. You got to be able to shoot it too, Kev. That's the key.
Doris, some people are pushing for Holcomb Rucker to be inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame. What do you think are the chances of that happening?
You know, I think contributions to the game take many shapes and forms, Kevin, and obviously Rucker Park is one of the most identifiable places in the history of the game. If you're a city basketball player, you know Rucker Park. You tried to prove your bona fides there. So if the committee believes Mr. Rucker is worthy, I am all for it.
On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Guys, the league may have never seen a player with more control on and off the court than LeBron James. He is a superstar, a playmaker, a coach on the floor. Some say he's the GM. He even has a stake in a player agent business. LeBron says it's his dream to one day own an NBA team. Well, he's certainly getting some practice. Kevin?
No question about it, David. He's well on his way. As important a player as we've ever seen in basketball.
Well, LeBron just shrugs off any and all contact when he has a good look at the rim like that.
And Doris, we've seen the offensive game of LeBron James evolve over the years, adding a post game, improving his three-pointer.
Well, I think, Kevin, like all the greats, the work habits and willingness to add dimensions to his game have always been there. We understand passing and playmaking have been the constants of his career, but now he understands he's got to vary the way his points and his productivity come.
Boom, he jams it straight down.
He's going to put that one in his scrapbook. Insane dunk.
And now they're starting to rub it in. Build up a lead, and here we go, baby. It is showtime. The screen from Thompson. Shoots over Wells. James misses.
And they have built their advantage on the scoreboard here by doing all the little things.
And a shot by Wells, no good.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Levine against Clarkson. Six to shoot. From the top of the key. And it's Chicago with the rebound. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game. Fresh from a win against the Nuggets.
Yeah, tough place to play on the road, and you just saw how comfortable they were shooting the basketball.
Amazing, Greg, that the hostile environment had zero effect. Instead, they embraced the challenge and absolutely shot lights out.
And the professor picks up the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game. Markkanen, he's checked in for Noah Vonleh. Clarkson against Levine. A shot by Clarkson, no good.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
Bells passes to Portis. Some nice ball movement by the Bulls. Here's the professor. Kick out to Levine. Drops in the tray. Levine's got 5 points now this quarter.
Come on now, we're talking about a big-time athlete with Zach LaVine. Catches the ball, gets into his rhythm, all in one motion.
Or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played here, and they have to get recharged.
That's a great point. Without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of a game. And that's something that none of these guys can afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have got to be hydrated.
Just 4 to shoot. Great pass to set up the lay-in.
I'll tell you, the feed puts him in prime position to convert. The assist was where it needed to be.
The dish to Markkanen. Screen by Grant. The three. Portis can't get it to go. The Cavaliers trail by 10. There's the pass to Clarkson. Nance outside. He kicks to Thompson. Nance a screen. Thompson dishes to Clarkson. Stolen by Grant. And now the fast break. Grant with the ball. And Markkanen with the basket on the assist by Grant. And that's 10 points for Lauri Markkanen.
And unfortunately, we've seen a few too many of those. A lack of concentration, a turnover, and an easy bucket in transition.
Nance a screen. And with that, the Chicago lead is kept back down now to 10 as they pick up the bucket from Bielitsa.
And not relying at all on the three-point shot. They may want to rethink about stretching the defense a bit like they did in that first half.
He's going to put that one in his scrapbook. Insane dunk.
And now they're starting to rub it in, build up a lead, and here we go, baby. It is showtime. It's a 4-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. Clarkson kicks to Thompson. Here's Bielitsa. 8 points for him. On the wing, Levine. Up and in on the layup. Levine's got 7 now in this quarter.
I'll tell you, Levine's a guard, but he has the quickness, the hops. He's difficult to stop in there.
Markkanen. The shot comes out, and as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. Bulls lead by 14. And we're coming right back after this break to get the fourth quarter underway. For Chicago. Then for the Cavaliers, LeBron's checked in for Bielitsa. Rodney Hood subbed in for Jordan Clarkson. Markkanen and Lopez are together down low. The professor out there with Dunn, and it's Valentine in at the 3. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. Pass to the professor. 5 to shoot. Power down with both hands.
I like that recognition. He knows he's in rhythm, knows this is the time to give his team some punch.
The Cavaliers trail by 17. James outside. To the inside. Stolen by Markkanen. Valentine with it. Now guarded by Hood. Valentine kicks to Dunn. Here's the professor. He dishes it to Lopez. Nance gets the rebound. Nance has got his 3rd rebound on the night.
I'll tell you, with the struggle he has had today, he probably won't be their #1 option as they look to close this game out.
Hood kicks to James. Over Lopez. And too long on the shot.
And he's just a tough defender. Good positioning to get after that shot.
Right, perfect contest in that instance, Greg, making it really hard on the shooter to have any kind of space at all.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring, and this one couldn't have been any easier.
Well, really good awareness by the scorer. You're seeing an opening in the defense and exploiting it beautifully.
Here's LeBron, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. And Doris, one thing we've seen with LeBron, he's not shy putting pressure on the franchise when it comes to personnel decisions.
Right, Kev, this guy is very serious about winning championships. LeBron James expects support from ownership in terms of acquiring the right pieces, and he keeps his contract short with a purpose. That exerts leverage to be in position to win.
They set the pick. Here's Dunn. Plays it up and banks it in.
That's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint.
The Cavaliers trail by 20. Lopez a screen. Nance outside. Doris, we know coaches need to win to keep their jobs. However, they need great players to win, which falls on the shoulders of a general manager. So why are more coaches fired for poor team performance than GMs, you think?
You know, I think what's fascinating to me, and this is a supposition I've heard other broadcasters talk about, which I believe should be instituted. Instead of just showing the coach's record on national broadcast, why don't we include the record of the GM? Because the coaches are not ultimately responsible unless they're responsible for both jobs, which we do see on occasion. But to me, the general manager has a significant role to the win-loss record, and both should be included.
And maybe when the owner says, hey, I'll pick the coach, it doesn't affect you. But if you pick the coach, you're tied with that coach. You're joined at the hip.
Great point. Great point.
Timeout called the Cavaliers.
So I think if you throw yourself into trying to get better every single day, and I would say look no further than Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook, who started their careers on an Oklahoma City team that barely broke double-digit wins in the NBA, but both were diligent, both kept to the course, and both continued to work hard. And now you've got two guys who really are MVP-level kind of guys.
And don't you see the stair step, too, for a guy like Kawhi Leonard, who every year picks up something different to do to enhance his overall game?
You know, that's a great point. The Spurs would tell you they built his game brick by brick.
And it's been about that execution offensively. I mean, they have been superb.
There's no doubt. They're making all the right moves. Their chemistry tonight has been phenomenal.
Doris, one result of the new CBA, minimum contracts increasing 45%. That's a big help to the NBA's working class, I think.
Well, I don't think there's any question that you see increasingly role players, someone like Draymond Green, whose value has not necessarily translated in terms of points per game, but his value to winning can't be calculated. And you're right. You know, you see guys below the superstar level increasingly becoming better compensated. And hey, listen, there's more of the pie to go around. Who doesn't enjoy a little more cherry pie, Kev?
Yeah, good thoughts. Good thoughts.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it, just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for the Bulls.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that, and man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
So looking at the season total, this will be their 17th win.
And they'll take the win tonight, setting the tone in the first matchup of this 4-game season series.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for the professor.
Boy, with all the work he did at the offensive end, it seemed to me to take a toll on the defenders. They could neither match his energy nor his intensity.
And you can live with those over-the-back calls sometimes because at least it's an effort play.
Right, because you'd rather have guys playing aggressive and physical than being too timid.
Here's what Chicago's going with right now. Bobby Portis is checked in for Lopez. Vonleh comes in for Markkanen. Justin Holiday's checked in for Valentine. And it's Jaron Grant in for Dunn. The three from Hill. Vonleh with the rebound. And here is Grant. Count it.
I'll tell you what, the energy in this arena, you can feel it.
Oh, there's no doubt. This crowd is into it, and it's because of how well their guys have played tonight.
And so Chicago takes this one, and by a big margin. It was a tail.